Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Thursday, June 27th, 2019. My name is Rich, and joining me to cover the Tacoma, Seattle qualifiers is Bijan. How are you making out?
It's basically Seattle, but really excited, man. This was a fantastic episode. I'm feeling good, and are you feeling good, Rich? You won the bet.
I am, and I'm not. I had like a mixed reaction this episode because I am super excited that we had someone do it on the third try, do the mega wall that is. But we also lost one of my favorites for the season. I'm pretty sure he's on my fantasy team, too. That sucks.
Yeah. Man, that's... Ooh. So, this episode had a roller coaster of emotions, ups and downs. But I don't know. I'm cool with it. Not that Geoff Britten, fell, but I'm cool with the fact that there's so much back and forth in terms of emotions, tenseness, stakes, and odds. Like, this is an episode that I loved. And dude, talk about bringing the star power. Like, this is a really packed region. Usually, like, the LA qualifiers is the one with, like, all the ninjas. It feels like Tacoma this season is the big one.
It has to be, right? Like, who's going to be able to top this? This has, especially from our perspective, right? Most of our favorites, former podcast guests and everything, are all on this episode. Like, it's crazy. Jake Murray, Meagan Martin, Geoff Britten. It's just an endless list here, and I'm sure I forget somebody. Jessie Graff, obviously. It's just everybody that we love is on this episode practically. I was looking forward to this episode for the past week. So excited we finally get to cover it.
Yeah, good point. I didn't even realize that, but this is a pretty Armchair Ninja heavy a cast of characters, so to speak.
Yeah. The course itself, what did you think of it?
I really liked it. Man, that first, or I guess second obstacle, it was weird. I was like, I don't know what to make of this. And then that barrel roll following it, I was like, these are interesting obstacles. I just simply need to see, like, how people approach it and if it's difficult and everything. I gotta say, I like the barrel roll. It seems like a really, really fun obstacle. Like, one of those obstacles that, like, I would just kill to try at a ninja gym. Did you feel the same way, Rich?
I was not a huge fan of the lunatic ledges. That's the first one. And I kind of like the barrel roll, but it's definitely not one of my favorites this season. It was visually kind of interesting, but overall a little disappointed in the course that they faced. Definitely, like you said, a little back heavy. There was definitely a lot more people going deep into this course, which is okay. If I felt like they were, I don't know. I just would have preferred a little bit better obstacles, I think, in the second and third position.
Well, yeah, I fully agree, in particular the third, because the barrel roll, I don't know if that's what its name or whatever, but that obstacle isn't necessarily the most difficult obstacle. Like, I feel like I can do that, and who knows, once again, I felt like I can do a crayon, but but that obstacle seems more fun than it is difficult. I think it would be the perfect second obstacle rather than a third obstacle. As for the lunatic ledges, I feel I understand what you're saying because the pacing's a little off. It's not a really fluid, fast obstacle. It definitely, yeah. The more I think about it, I just don't know what to make of that thing. It's just so weird.
It kind of reminds me of like I think it's called the swing surfer in stage 2, right? Or
yeah,
I guess the TikTok's kind of that way too. Yeah, TikTok would be a good comparison, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just them two back at like 1 or 2 and 3. I think that's the bigger issue. I think with them. I think either is fine as a second obstacle, but definitely neither should be a third.
Yep, I think that would be a great summary of it. I feel like, it wasn't that I hated either one of them. I just didn't feel like they were, to combine, they were enough.
Yeah. With that said, man, ooh. What's it? Lightning bolts?
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough obstacle. Like that's one of those obstacles I would never wish upon anybody, particularly in a qualifying course. That's rough.
Yeah, that's a good obstacle. I really like that one. I think that one is a great test. It has a lot of different techniques. It requires, and I think it was one of the new obstacles last year. It was one of our candidates for the obstacle of the year, or I think it might be one of the ninja killers of the year.
Yeah, that said, I mean, this course in particular is a very, very heavy grip strength and lache heavy course. The 3 obstacles we just spoke about all require the same real background of technique. So, yeah, it's a little tough, but I guess the best way to get through it is just go as fast as you can, getting to those lightning bolts, because, man, that's a lot, and I mean a lot of pressure on your joints, in particular your fingertips, leading into those leading into those lightning bolts.
But we did see that grip strength and forearm strength is not enough. So let's actually get into some of the runs here. First on the course was Rose Wetzel. Great to see her back.
Yeah. Okay, so where did this come from of her pregnant, like doing like 200-meter sprints and everything?
Yeah.
And did she say like 7 months in? Like, okay, Rich, you're married to somebody that's had children. I can't say you had children. And everybody's got their own background. I don't want to criticize or anything. Rose knows her body better than anybody else. But we're like, if your wife was doing this, would you have like a mini heart attack?
Yes, 1,000. I was having it watching her, even knowing that everything was fine in the end. Like, is that okay? I hope she seems very, very obviously fit, but health conscious too, I guess. On top of that, I'm sure she talked to her doctor. I'm sure they okayed everything. It was just watching her swing like kettlebells and stuff was like, is that allowed? Is that okay?
Hey, it just takes one slip or trip, or I don't. Never mind. I don't even want to bring that into the world. Let's just say a lot of things could have gone wrong. I'm happy it didn't. And once again, she is an expert, in particular in the field of OCR running and probably everything involved with I'm blanking on it, CrossFit and things like that. So I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but still.
Nervous.
I was getting nervous watching that.
Yeah, she did a half marathon in her 7th month of pregnancy. That's insane.
Just takes one trip, y'all. Oof.
Yeah,
I'm glad it worked out.
On the course, she was really grimacing on the lunatic ledges. It made me think that maybe I had underestimated it when I first saw it.
She must be injured, right? I mean, her grimace was immediate.
Yeah.
I don't... The grimace continued throughout the obstacles, so I feel like it's less of the obstacle itself and more of maybe she has a problem with her fingers, maybe she hurt herself. That's my guess. I don't know, but man, it was immediate.
Yeah, she wasn't able to make the transition between the barrels, unfortunately, and ended up going out earlier than I would have expected. I thought she was going to go a little further.
Yeah, really surprising because she's incredible and like an absolutely incredible athlete, in particular in the Spartan Race, Tough Mudder, OCR scene. She knows her stuff, and anybody that's done those could tell you it's not like people that do these don't have grip strength. They have them for days, so I don't think it's something where she's just doesn't train her grip strength. I'm guessing she's injured.
After her, we had Ryan Phillips, 39-year-old rookie lead guitarist for Story of the Year. They showed him doing a lot of ninja obstacles. Actually, he seemed quite legit. I was surprised because when they started showing his background and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, so this is going to be the early exit. But then as I was watching him go, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he looked great, but how long was this video?
It was long.
I felt like this thing lasted forever. I was like, is this a movie? Like, are we going to get his entire biography? What's going on here? They see something in him. I don't know. Just a little long, guys. Like, calm it down.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think they expected a lot of his fans to be tuning in. I'm not sure. But this is when we forgot to see the crazy dismount needed on that second barrel. I thought that was pretty cool at the time. Kind of got old, I think, quickly. But he was able to beat it and the broken bridge and ended up going out on the first lightning bolt. So a fantastic rookie year run.
Yeah, I got to say, I was really impressed by him, or I guess surprised by him. Like you, I kind of suspected or expected maybe like not an early exit, but like, makes it halfway, kind of shows us the course. But he made it all the way to lightning bolts, the penultimate obstacle, and that's no joke. So props to him.
One of the fast forwards we had after him was Jackson Meyer, the Boy Scout ninja there.
That was surprising, right?
Very, very surprising. He is amazing. He ended up going out on the lightning bolts, going for the fastest time.
Yeah. I mean, get ready, y'all. You're going to hear that a lot.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of that. After him, we had McKenna Hassey, a female race car driver, sprint car racer. And for some reason, they thought to show how elite she was, the best way to do that was to show her crashing constantly.
Okay, I thought I was going crazy. I am like, why? Like, first of all, I gotta say, McKenna, how old is she? Because she looks like she's 15. How old is she? Do you know?
I don't know.
Man, she must be like barely made the. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's like 25 or something. But like, she looks like she barely made the age limit. I was like, this is a kid. That said, they're talking about how elite she is, and all I see constantly is a crash after crash after crash. And I am like, this is not representative of this elite athlete, because obviously she's winning championships, and finally they show her win something at the very end.
Finally. But
I am like, what is this? This is not like, I'm not going to talk about how elite I am by showing me fail at a bunch of things, you know? I don't understand that at all.
No, it'd be like saying, like, you know, she's an elite boxer and watch her get knocked out over and over again. It's like, I don't think that's showing what you want it to show. I get that she's tough. Like, that's what I know you're trying to show, but, you know, one crash would have been fine, and then show her winning races. That's what you're trying to prove here.
Yeah, I mean, you can show her crash once, overcoming adversity. Don't make it like a sad thing, or, oh, I you know, build myself up. But, like, there's a story there, and can really amp up like how amazing she is for her age. Because once again, she looks like a kid, you know, like she's talented. Show it.
We get to see her talents on the course, though. She did a really good job getting off the first and obstacles fast. And when she spun out on the third obstacle, I thought this was like a gift from heaven to Matt and Akbar. Like, the puns just start rolling immediately.
You knew it was coming. They were so ready.
Yeah, it was just way too easy. Very, very interesting fall, but unfortunately did not move on to the city finals. But, you know, pretty good.
That said, I was actually really impressed with her in terms of getting through the earlier obstacles. And once again, the barrel roll, if she were to just hold on, I think she would have been fine. I think she was just very, I guess, I'm guessing her run was earlier in the night, and she just didn't know the right approach to that. She did have the grip strength the grip the right way. In my opinion, the best way to tackle something that really jolts you like that is to have a cross grip rather than a forward grip. And she did do the cross grip. She just held on a little too long with her back arm, which made her spin.
Yeah.
But yeah, cross grip, that's definitely the way to go with a barrel roll.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
We saw that like throughout the episode. I think that definitely seemed to be the way to do it. After her, we had Kenneth Edwards, a walk-on from Brooklyn. This is like the opposite coast.
Yeah, like, guys, Tacoma is literally on the furthest western side of America, and Brooklyn's on the furthest east portion of America. There's a geography lesson for everyone. But, like, seriously, how did he even get over there, and why? There's regions close to New York.
He just must have missed the walk-on lottery in that region and just traveled around. I don't know how many he did, but good for him. He was persistent.
Man, that guy is dedicated.
Or he's on vacation and decided to try it. I have no idea. I really don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, Rich, I'm really happy for him, because that is some dedication that I will never know. I'm too lazy to drive up to LA sometimes. And I've never driven up to Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is, 4 hours away from me? Like, it's not...
That's
for these guys.
He is almost as far away as you and I are right now. Like that, he is pretty far.
Literally.
38-year-old rookie. He managed to do the barrel roll, but landed pretty hard on his butt. It was pretty funny to watch, actually.
Yeah, that looked painful, though, man.
Yeah, he peeled off the second lightning bolt. I was rooting for him. He was very entertaining on the course. I can see why they showed him.
Yeah, I'm really happy for this guy. I mean, he gave it his all. He was entertaining and everything like that. I don't remember. How did he make it all the way, or did he fall?
He peeled on the second lightning bolt.
Oh man, that sucks. Do we know if he made it to the finals?
I don't know offhand, but let me take a quick look here. I should have kept it up. Why don't I ever keep this thing up?
I'm sorry to ask that.
Well, that's okay. Well, the lightning bolt was the cutoff, but there's so many that made it there. It's hard to know, right? No, unfortunately, it looks like Kenneth did not get there fast enough. But after him, we saw someone who did move on. We saw Sandy Zimmerman, the 42-year-old PE teacher. She completely stole my heart in her first run, or the first run I remember seeing her in.
Oh, man. Yeah, this was amazing. Break down, just break it down.
All right, so they kind of offhand mention her. She was a national judo champion when she was a kid, but they're really focusing on the fact that she was a mom, and no mom's ever hit a buzzer in qualifying. And what's kind of funny is Lita from Reality TV Wrap-Ups has mentioned how they're really hammering home the mom message this season, and I think this is why they've really been hitting it. And she called it out very directly. She gets on this course, her third time competing, has never made it past the second obstacle, and she looked amazingly strong on this course. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. I thought for sure she was going out on the fifth obstacle. I thought she was going to put in a really good, solid run, but she managed to beat the lightning bolt so early in the episode.
Yeah.
I totally caught me by surprise. Makes it up the warped wall, and it was a complete epic surprise. Loved every second of it.
100%, man. This was absolutely amazing, and one of those more historic runs, not simply because she made history, but more just when you think back at seasons, there are always these particular big moments that always stick out to you, and this is going to be one of them. First of all, the story, the vignette. They hammer it in perfectly of building up this story that she's tried multiple times. She trains with her family. It's a dedicated ninja family. You know, she loves her children. She loves being a mom. All of these things that feel good, but not too sappy. You know what I mean? I think they just approach it just the right way. You can genuinely see the passion that she has for ninja, just in her face and everything like that. For that part, visually profound, edit of the night, 100%. That was good stuff. But then, dude, she keeps kicking butt on the course, like not making it look easy, but not making it look tough either. She struggles through, just gives the right amount of drama. Every single like moment that she's on that course is palpable, filled with drama, filled with tension. Can she make it? Can she make it? And then she makes it to the lightning bolts, which not only just the women, but every single ninja so far has struggled to get through. And like you, Rich, I'm like, well, maybe this is the part where she falls and everything. But no, she keeps going. You keep going, Zimmerman. She keeps kicking butt, going through that. And you can see she is getting weaker and weaker in her grip strength, but she will not give up. She will not give up. And then she gets off that thing, and it is a huge, huge moment. And then she gets up that warped wall. Not only the first woman this season to hit a buzzer, which I was very surprised by, but there it is. But man, the first mother ever to hit a buzzer on American Ninja Warrior. So incredibly happy for her. By far, athletically profound run of the night. 100% dopeness.
I am glad you gave that, because that is 100% warranted. She's also the oldest woman to ever hit a buzzer. Like, absolutely crushed it on the course. 42 years old. She does not look 42. Does not move like a 42-year-old either.
Amazing tan also. She just all around good stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how she does in the finals. Very, very epic run. After her, we had a fast forward of Nick Hansen, who fell on the lightning bolt.
Where did this come from? There were two runs in particular. They were like amping up over the night. Nick Hansen and Rico Rivera. And then they're fast forwarded, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, they like to do that sometimes. But Nick did get there fast enough, so he will be moving on to the finals.
Yes, and still apparently my favorite ninja, or whatever my mom said to his family.
But here's the one. This was a heartbreaking moment next for me. Austin Gray. This is so. Last week, you were going on thinking that I was a huge fan of Zach Day, which I think it was Zach anyway. One of the days.
Yeah.
And it was Austin Gray you were thinking of. When I listened back and I was doing the editing, I realized who you were thinking of. Austin Gray is who I am huge on. I think he's going to go really far.
Yeah, I remember as soon as I saw him, I'm like, Rich loves this guy.
Yeah, I really think he's the real deal, and I expected him to really crush it this year. I am 99% sure he is on my team. Unfortunately, had just huge air in the barrel roll, looking very solid, but ended up going out on the broken bridge and devastated me, and I'm sure we will not be seeing him going further this year. That sucks.
Yeah. It's brutal, man. Those balance obstacles, I'll tell you. I mean, they talk about it on the show, but like just talking to the ninjas there and everything, balance obstacles are the most feared obstacles to pretty much all ninjas. Simply because it's not something you could train for balance, but only to a degree. And yeah, I mean, what can you do, man?
Moving on, we had next on the course Sarah Schoback. Fast forwarded, actually. Went out on lunatic ledges.
That's really surprising. How did she fall? I completely missed this part.
I don't remember how she fell, actually. Come to think of it.
It's like, yeah. I mean, because Schoback's really good, and the ledges, there is a transition, but at least from what we saw, it wasn't too difficult for a lot of ninjas. But the swinging part was difficult for some people.
Yeah, if they didn't get across fast enough, once they lost their momentum, it was pretty much over. But after her, there's like an epic run that we have to talk about after her. Jake Murray gets wheeled out in a straitjacket in this crazy shtick that totally hit home. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. Way better than last year, I gotta say. Out of all of his like goofy moments, where does this rank for you?
Pretty high up there, actually. This would be, yeah, first or second probably. Like it's pretty high up.
Yeah, I gotta say it's right up there. Also, I think it's very creative. It blends in with the going crazy on the course. Like I really liked this a whole lot more than the golf putt or whatever happened last year. The Segway and the corn dog was really cute. But this one, I don't know, simple but fun. And I like the whole part where he just jumps out of it.
That's the part I like.
It was cool, man.
Up until then, I was iffy on. I was like, I mean, it's kind of funny, but when he jumped out of it that got me. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Wow. Watching him on the course, he made me nervous. He was not taking a cautious approach at all.
Nope.
Speeding his way through, managed to make it through Broken Bridge, but going way too quick for my liking. Ended up getting a 125 time, and I thought, wow, that's fantastic. I think we're going to see Jake in the finals with that kind of a time.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't have much to say because he went so fast. I mean, there's not much you... It's like, oh, okay, he's just going... Okay, he's done. But...
yeah, kind of.
But it was a really cool run, and particularly, I'm really happy that he's making it to the finals, Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's not going out super early in the season again. Good stuff.
After that, we had Jon Stewart fast forward, 57 years old in his final season, and had kind of a disappointing send-off, unfortunately. Spent more than 3 minutes on the second obstacle before failing. He just couldn't. He lost his momentum and just couldn't quite figure out how to get off of it.
Yeah, man, myth, the legend. I really, really, really like Jon Stewart. I've been hyping him up for years. I wish the best for him, and we've seen him. He lives life to the fullest, so I'm sure he's happy. I wish there was a better end for him, but until somebody breaks that record of his, he's always going to be in the history books.
Yep. Speaking of history books, we had Meagan Martin take the course, her 6th year competing.
Yes.
Fantastic ninja. Very excited to see her back. Once again, she was not looking... She was like living on the edge of this course. Like almost every obstacle was just making it, and like just a little too close. It was like, okay, Meagan, what are you doing? Like we need a little more solidness here. You're making us all a little crazy.
Yeah, a little nerve-wracking. Like it wasn't the cleanest run, but she was getting through it. And honestly, I mean, when you look back, Meagan Martin, at least for the city qualifiers, how do I say this? She isn't the cleanest when it comes to newer obstacles. That said, she always gets through them. But I didn't know this. She has never fallen on a balance obstacle. Props to her. That's pretty legit, man. Yeah, I don't know what else to really say about it. I mean, she fell on the lightning bolts, but she wasn't. It didn't look like when it came to lightning bolts that she didn't look bad or anything.
Yeah, she just misjudged, unfortunately, which did leave her in jeopardy later on. And I honestly didn't think she was going to finals this year.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That was a weird dynamic of a of a segment.
Yeah, we'll cover that when we get to it. After her, we had in this all-star special, we just went through.
It really is.
Like crazy. Jake Murray, then Meagan Martin, then Sean Bryan. It's like, this is the middle of the episode. What is going on here? Sean Bryan, who broke his ankle at a competition, couldn't walk on it for 15 weeks, was just finally able to do a warped wall again 4 weeks prior to running the course. It's like, he is barely recovered to be doing this.
Yeah, like really barely recovered. This is the episode where I eat crow because at the very, very last minute, the last day for ANW Fantasy, I changed my pick from Sean Bryan to Adam Rail. And the reason I did that was simply because I have all the faith in the world of Sean Bryan, and I was really hyped for him, but I didn't know if he was competing. Simply because I forget what region he was originally supposed to run in, but he was still in a boot, and his entire Facebook and social media was like, I don't know if I'll be able to compete this year. I'm still injured. So it's like, well, I can't,
Right.
I can't go on that. But yeah, just know, guys, when you're seeing him run here and him looking amazing, this guy is still very, very much healing. He is not 100%, so that just amps up what he did in this particular run, in this entire episode, all the more. This guy is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he showed it here. In spite of the injury, he absolutely crushed this course, having no issues whatsoever. Ended up gets the fastest time with 1:14. I just couldn't believe how pretty much easy he made the course look. He didn't really struggle at all.
No, man. I mean, the dude is just so clean and poised. I mean, kind of Joe Morosky-esque. I don't even know what to say, man. He's improving so much season by season. This guy, at this point, and they even said it, he's gone to stage 3 the past 2 years. I mean, we can really see him, or at least me, I can really see him winning this year. I could see him being at the top of stage 4. Because I mean, let's be real. Stage 4 is a joke, in particular for somebody like Sean Bryan. So, yeah, if he gets through stage 3, this guy's winning $1 million.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. And he's probably the odds-on favorite to do it, as, you know, if you really objectively look at how everybody's been doing these last few years.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. We had to fast forward of a couple of big ninjas here. Rico Rivera went out on the mega wall, as did Dan Yeager.
I'm glad at the very least we're going to see them in the finals because they're really talented ninjas. Veterans, we've seen them multiple times, so I understand, they're not getting a full segment or anything because we know their stories. I like at the very least, though, that they always highlight the crazy new thing that Rico Rivera is doing because he's always bringing something flashy. That's cool, man.
Yeah, he's always got some cool antics. This year it was a bunch of smoke that he did instead of just breathing fire, because the breathing fire just gets old after a while, right? Like, you breathe fire. Everybody's breathes fire at this point.
Yeah, like breathing a bunch of smoke. That's totally the better option, right? Right before a really tiring thing. Yeah,
the ultimate vapor.
He's doing it.
Yeah. But after that, we had the epic return, the so excited to see run of Geoff Britten.
Yes.
He took a couple years off, as we knew, and started Ninja Nation, which I'm so glad that they plugged. I was glad to see that they got a shout out for that.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they're loosening the screws, so to speak, when it comes to like promoting outside ventures.
Yeah, after all the excitement of that and watching him on the course again, I was so thrilled. Jessica on the sideline, just everything about it. I was just grinning, just a big goofy grin on my face. And then I wanted to cry when he fell in Broken Bridge. I was so heartbroken. Like, I I couldn't believe what I saw.
Yeah. For Geoff Britten in particular, I mean, we all know how strong he is. He had a very, I wouldn't say cautious, but like relaxed approach to the first two obstacles. He wasn't speeding, like he wasn't trying to go to his power tower or anything. But in the back of my mind, the one thing I'm like, man, that balance obstacle, it can get anybody. In particular, from what I've seen, when it comes to like higher ninjas that take a big break off, there is always that chance where they can get slipped up on one of the simplest things. We've seen it time and time again. Even now I think about Isaac Caldiero last season, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it got Geoff Britten. And at first I was like, oh, maybe if they bring back the wild cards or something, because I know that was rumored. But I mean, they said it right here on this episode. We'll see him next year, or hopefully we'll see him next year. Like the season's over for Geoff Britten, and way too soon, man. I was really, really excited to see this guy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jeff's amazing. We love to watch him run. Great guy too, and I hope we see him again next year. I'm sure we will. I'm glad to see he's back.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's one of those things where sometimes the most important thing is to just get the shakes out. Like, when I say that, though, Geoff Britten is the kind of guy where I don't think he has any anxiety or nervousness or anything, but maybe just, like, get that feel, like, get it over with of, like, hey, I was back on the course, so next year I don't know, maybe has the hunger or whatever it is that makes him basically tackle this course, like, full on.
It's funny, I was just remembering, you reminded me, because the season after he won, Christine was interviewing him on the sidelines and said something like, you must, is it a lot of extra nerves this year? And he says, why would I be nervous? I've already done this before. Like, just a fantastic way to look at it. Like, just didn't seem phased at all. I hope that's the case. It seemed like he seemed okay.
Yeah. I mean, he really has nothing to prove.
Exactly.
He had the perfect season.
What's the point now? Like, been there, done that. Had a perfect season. How's your year been? But yeah, after him, we had the surprising, let's say, run of Leif Sundberg right after Geoff.
Where did this come from, man?
Nobody knows. Nobody's quite sure what this was. This salmon ladder specialist, who I do remember last year, him doing the big flashy, or attempting the big flashy salmon ladder routine and falling on the...
Yeah, I mean... Oh, sorry to cut you off. I just... unfortunately, his story, from what I remember, is more of his failure. And the fact that they amped him up with so talented at the salmon ladder. And then, of course, the salmon ladder is the thing that he falls on.
But he had to, I mean, really... I feel like he had to go all out on the salmon ladder after all the hype and everything else. Like, he couldn't just do a normal salmon ladder, which I'm sure he would have been fine if he had done it normally.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he had to.
Yeah, he kind of had to do that. One thing I have to call out here, because I think we don't give Akbar his due sometimes with all the Akbarisms and whatnot. This one cracked me up. I don't know why, it just hit my funny bone the right way. So he's a Swedish ninja. And he comes out with this is a stocky homie. And I just laughed. I couldn't help but laugh at that one. Stockholm.
Like, no, I get it. It's just,
anyway.
Good for you. if you cracked up
I
for
may
that
be
one,
the only
you.
one out there that laughed at it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was good.
Yes.
This dude came
Shout
out...
out to ANW Akbarism on Twitter.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes. ANW Akbarism. Definitely please put that in your top list for this year. I love that one. And I loved Leif. Oh my God, this dude crushed the course. He was flying through this. He ended up with 58.75 seconds for his time.
What, I still don't know where this came from. I'm like, what? Like, big dude, first of all, like 6-something, he has to be. But very, very strong, fluid movements. He definitely has been training. And obviously we've seen him train, but like, he knows how to control his body and his size very well in an obstacle course race dynamic. And yeah, really impressive, man. I'm happy for him, and he's definitely on my radar now. I'm curious to see how far he goes.
After I seen that time, I was like, well, nobody. If anybody beats that time, that's fine. He'll still be going on. Like, he's definitely going to the finals. So I thought, well, he's our new guy that's up there. Let's see who the veteran that's going up against him is going to be at the end of the night.
Good point. That's still a thing. Huh?
It is weirdly a thing. I don't know. After we had a fast forward after this of Scott Behrens, the one of the Backyard Ninja Kids. I was really impressed that he was able to beat the course in his rookie year. You know, they've really taken off. The Backyard Ninja Kids is huge.
Yeah.
And
I'm happy for him, man. Shout out to everyone, but in particular Scott. I mean, this is probably really awesome for him in terms of just a moment in his life.
Yeah, I'm absolutely floored that they didn't get a full segment. You know how much love ANW has for, like, you know, viral YouTube and you know, social media sensations. Like,
yeah, wow, that is a great point, Rich. Like, they have everything you want. They are huge social media stars. They're obsessed with ANW. Cute, adorable kids training on ANW. Like, it hits every checkbox there is. I mean, they have... Man, there has to be a segment in, like, the city finals, right?
He must have beat the finals course. That's the only explanation for this not being shown.
Dude, yeah. That is a crime if he's not featured in the city finals, because... Dude, you really... I did not realize that, but yeah, they hit everything.
Every single... they hit every box. So, fantastic job, Scott. Look forward to seeing your massive segment in the city finals.
Yeah, looking forward to the 10-minute plus segment, you know, just...
After Scott, we saw Marquez Green and his twin brother Nathan. Nathan fell on the lunatic ledges. He was fast-forwarded. These are the twins, the twinges, I think they called them.
Yeah.
Whose mother died when they were young. They are training in ninja and track together. I fully admit I had no faith in this guy beating the course. Absolutely none. As I watched him go, he was struggling. After seeing his twin, who they trained together, they seemed to be very similarly matched. I thought, okay, so he's probably not going to beat it. It's very, like
his twin brother failing on the second obstacle did not help.
No
expectations.
He made it through basically on grit, and then I was thinking, like, can he even beat the wall? Like, has he done a ninja wall before? And he did. And when he did, I kind of finally came on board, especially when Akbar looks at him and says, like, hey, you did better than your brother. And he says, I learned from him and I fought for her. And I was like, oh, man, you got me on that one.
Yeah, that was a great quote. I mean, the cynic in me, they were building it up all episode, and I am like, oh, no, they're going to milk this for everything it is. And I really dislike it when they milk tragedy. But they were fine in the segment and the approach in terms of, like, you know, respecting the tragedy in their life, but not hamming it up to a, you know, I'd agree that I dislike, you know, and I thought everything that they did in terms of showing this kid and his, you know, his rise to, or I guess just his training and his approach to everything, I thought it was very well done. And they kind of lowered expectations by showing that his twin brother did fail earlier. There's nothing wrong with that. In particular, failing at the second obstacle. Nothing wrong with that, guys.
No, it's totally fine.
Yeah. But you know, I'm really happy that it wasn't based on just pure skill and technique and everything. He struggled through it, but he got all the way through. And pure heart, will, and as you said, that quote was a really icing on the tape. On the cake, and I'm really happy for the kid, really happy for him, and his brother. He was crying, and everybody around. It was a really nice moment.
Yeah, for sure. And next up, following that segment, was the run. I very easily would say the run I was waiting all season for. Was the return of Jessie Graff.
Oh, I called it. I knew it. I am like, we're both big Jessie Graff fans, but man, Rich, you've been waiting for this one for a whole year.
Yes. I was so disappointed when she didn't go to Vegas. It seemed like maybe not as disappointed as she was. it's nice to know that, for her, it wasn't that she just moved on, right? Like, it's that she had something else that she had to do. And I respect that, and I think most people definitely respect that.
I mean, if she were to be like asking me, should I go for the Vegas finals or, work on Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Go work on Wonder Woman, Jesse. You
1,000%.
have more opportunities.
Yes. But it is nice to know that her, she's returned home. Again, I feel that way too. It's nice to have her back.
Yeah, that was really cool. A very important moment in this episode. Honestly, I would say this should have been the very last, or I don't even know if the last run is the most important run anymore, but I would say probably the most important, the highest point of the episode, maybe. And yeah, I mean, you can see the emotion in her eyes when it came to her talking about missing out last year and then competing this year. And genuinely, I'm more happy for her of just being on the course and doing the thing that she loves, even more so than her success this episode. Just her genuine, just happiness being on the course. And as you said, back home.
Yeah, you couldn't possibly have taken the smile off my face as I watched her go. I always just loved watching every minute of it. Like I said, she just looks like she has so much fun out there. She's an amazing ambassador for the sport, amazing role model for young girls and boys. And she has a pet pig, Samo, that was on FaceTime on the sidelines. I mean, what's not to love?
Yes, Samo's adorable. We got to talk to Samo via Skype when it was when she was. Is Samo a boy or girl? Boy, right? I forget. Well, let's just say when
girl,
Samo,
I think, isn't she?
when I feel bad, but because we talked to Samo, and let's just say when Samo was a little baby.
Yes, that was very nice.
Jesse's gonna be so upset at us. Like,
I know.
How do you not know?
Why did I forget this? I should know that. Like the most basic thing to know. But of course, Jessie crushes the course, does an amazing job, beats the whole thing, just phenomenal, just everything. She's just everything. After that, we had Carson Voiles fast forwarded along with Lauren Ball. Carson was fast forwarded. His failing the mega wall, and Lauren just missed the fastest time by missing the wall on his first attempt, unfortunately.
I mean, all I was thinking during this moment is like how many well-known veteran ninjas are in this region to the point where these guys are being fast forwarded for their mega wall attempt. Like, geez.
And Lauren Ball is thinking, where was the speed pass every other year? Like, come on.
Poor Lauren Ball, man. I mean, when you really think about it, this was built for him, and man, that guy must be so upset.
I would think so. So then that leaves Meagan Martin on the bubble with one woman left to go, and that is Megan Rowe.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were a rookie, Reg, and you're Meagan Rowe, and all of this happens, and all of a sudden your segment on TV comes up, and this is your big moment, how would you feel about pretty much your entire storyline for this being about if I fail, one of the most popular female ninjas in ANW history moves on, and if I succeed, I kick her off of any chance of reaching the finals? I mean, I feel so bad for this girl because, unfortunately, the way they filmed this, they edited it, show it on TV and everything, I'd say 90% of the viewer audience is rooting for this woman to fail. And I feel very bad for her in that aspect.
I do and I don't. I get that. I see what you're saying. It is kind of funny when you think of it that way. But I mean, that's kind of inherent in Ninja, right? Like, it's the one thing. It was kind of Matt Eisman's defense, when we had him on after the whole Jeff and Isaac fiasco and said, like, it was weird to have people competing. He said, they're always competing, right? People forget, like, they're always competing for spots. And it's true. That is the one time you do see that, is like, everybody roots everyone on until you're on the bubble and watching someone running the course and you're going, please fall. Please fall on this next obstacle.
I mean, true. Once again, if I'm ever on Ninja versus Ninja, expect an elbow or a rogue leg to be flying. I do not care.
We know what you're like. Yeah, you'll never get invited to Ninja versus Ninja.
Yeah.
But this Meagan Rowe was fantastic. I mean, they show her doing axe throwing. It was very entertaining. They showed her that she competes in sandals. I mean, it was okay. It was okay.
I guess.
They didn't like belabor it. If it was a long segment, it was just enough to kind of get an idea of who she was.
It's definitely no shame bell or anything like that. It's not a cake ninja situation. But I was like, really? This is the most you talk about this girl is that she's wearing sandals and throwing an axe. Okay. All right. Cool.
And then they offhand mentioned that, she has a background in gymnastics and rock climbing. I was like, well, that seems important. Like, could we have not seen some footage of that? That would have been
just
good.
A little bit, right?
Time's ticking away. And she was like, the time's just, all she's got to do is complete the broken bridge faster than Meagan to bump Meagan out and guarantee her spot in the finals. And she's got plenty of time, right? She's sitting around just kind of shaking things out and
dude, she had like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
She had a lot of time.
If she had known, obviously she would go. Like, I don't know why they're yelling like she knows. Obviously she doesn't know. No one's told her that she's got to move faster, so she's sitting there. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I seriously doubt there's a giant screen with a timer on it. I mean, who knows? We're going to talk about, or at least I really want to talk about the fact that this is an enclosed environment for the first time on ANW, but I don't think there was anything like that. So she doesn't know. That said, I mean, man, I feel for her. Everything about this run in terms of the approach from like the edit, in terms of like, once again, they keep cutting back to Meagan Martin and like, hey, if she fails, Meagan Martin moves on. And then like hearing Matt Eisman or Akbar, whoever it was, like yelling like, oh my God, just go. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for this lady.
Yeah. I feel like that would hurt more, I think, the whole, hey, I get a segment and, people are going to see my run towards the end of the episode, right? Sandwiched between some of these, the biggest ninjas out there. I would think that'd all be very cool. I would take a little offense to the whole run. Like, I didn't know. You could have told me. Like, if you'd been yelling a little louder, I would have ran.
Yeah. Literally, I think it was either 1 or 2 seconds. If she were to just go through that balance obstacle like a little bit earlier, she would have made it. That's brutal.
Yeah, 2 to 3 seconds from what I could see. Yeah, it's right in there. She ended up going out in the second lightning bolt. If she had beat the lightning bolts, Meagan would have been out.
Yeah. By the way, huge shout out. Whoever's like doing the graphic design for these ninjas this year, and particularly this region, dope. Like a lot of these ninjas have really cool shirts. Custom made shirts for whatever their shtick is. Megan's was really, really good. Cowboys, or Lance Pekus's shirt was really cool. And there are quite a few others. So just, I don't know, one little thing that I took note of, I'm like, man, they're getting legit with this stuff.
I know, and why haven't we been ordering any of these shirts? That's what I'm wondering. Like, what's wrong with us?
I don't know, man.
Speaking of, you mentioned Lance Pekus. He was our last runner of the night here, and they focused on his. We didn't get to see him jumping on hay bales this time. I mean, I wasn't crazy with the segment, but it was a nice change of pace.
I guess that's the best way to describe it. It's new. It's not the greatest, but it's new. I don't want them to like. I have mixed emotions because I want to hear an update on his wife, but at the same time, I don't want them to always milk that. So I just don't know the best way to go about that.
They did it. They did exactly what they should do. It's, hey, she's feeling, she's doing well. She's well enough to travel, and she's here with the kids. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
I mean, that's a good point. I guess I didn't hear that when they said it, but she was there, so she is able to travel and everything.
Yep. I think I agree completely. I would like an update. I don't want them to ham it up in the segment. I think just let us know. She's doing good. It's great. She's here. That's good for me.
Yeah. I'm sure after a certain point, they're just like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
I respect that completely.
Yeah, Grant McCartney did that, from what I understand, right? Like, back in the day, he didn't want... His first season, it was all about, the deaths in his family, and he didn't want that to be his thing. Like, they don't talk about that every year, so he did start dancing and showboating.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I mean, good on them.
It worked. It worked for him, for sure. But Lance had a close call on the broken bridge, and makes it to the Mega Wall. Misses his first attempt and his second attempt, but you know what? He was able to do the third attempt.
How much, like, I can just imagine. I felt your grin from, like, the other side of the continent, man.
I had it spoiled somewhat. I was kind of, like, a little disappointed. I avoid social media, and I apologize. Anyone that reaches out to me in the days following the Ninja, when ANW airs, doesn't get a response to me because I avoid everything. And all it took was one little glance. I saw somewhere that Rich won the bet. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, won the bet? What bet? Oh, no. It's good, but now I know someone's going to beat the Mega Wall in the third attempt.
Yeah, I saw that too. I didn't know what they were talking about. I'm like, moving on. I guess Rich won something. And then I saw that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
It's all right. It wasn't that a huge deal. It was cool to see.
I still felt the grin from a mile or from a continent away.
I was just like,
happy. Rich is going to rub this one in.
I mean, if you had told me it was going to be Lance Pekus, I wouldn't have believed you, though. That was a little surprising.
Man, Lance Pekus is always surprising me. Shame on me. Shame on me.
I just thought
There's
it would
a
be
shame
like
bell for me. He just always surprises me by how talented he is.
I know he's talented, but to me, he's not my first thought of who's going to do well on a Mega Wall, and certainly not. I would have expected one of the tall ninjas, right? Someone that maybe has to get the technique down, but has the height to kind of really help them out.
Yeah, I need a compilation of like the people that have actually completed the Mega Wall, because I have a feeling it's not necessarily the tallest people.
Yeah, I don't think it has been really. So I forget how many that's been. They said at the beginning of the episode there was like 7 or 8 people have done it this season or something like that.
I feel like it's even less than that. I mean, at least me thinking back, I don't recall seeing that many people completing the Mega Wall this season.
I think we had one particular place that was like 4. So
gotcha.
So I think it kind of added up. But yeah, that meant we go to the Power Tower with Sean Bryan versus Leif Sundberg, as we expected leading into this episode.
Seriously. I mean, when you think about how many ninjas were on this episode, I am stunned that Leif was able to get here, but props to him. That just shows how talented he is and how much we shouldn't be sleeping on him. But wow, what a surprise.
Yeah, Lauren Ball, not Jake Murray.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, going into this, when you look at the names, Lance Pekus, for one, is very fast. But then, as you said, Lauren Ball, Jake Murray. Oh gosh, there was like 2 others that were like known to be super, super fast. And just like, wow. Sean Bryan, I mean, props to him. He's fast. I don't recall him being the fastest, but maybe he is. But actually, you know what? Sean Bryan is very fast when I think back to Ninja versus Ninja. But this Leaf kid. Wow.
Yeah, go figure.
Do you remember a few years ago? I'm sorry, just in my head, Sean Bryan was an alternate substitute on Ninja vs. Ninja a few years ago. Do you remember that?
I didn't remember that until you just said it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, he was.
What a rise this guy has had.
And in this case, it was close. It was pretty close, but Sean was a little bit ahead and ended up bringing it home in the end. Really kind of separated from him at the top of the tower.
Yeah. I mean, props to Sean Bryan. I don't know. I guess I'm maybe spoiled by how talented the more well-known ninjas are, because I just assume they're always going to win. But I think it's more of the fact that Leif and people like him, I don't know them. I don't know their talents to that degree. So I just, I just go in assuming until I'm proven wrong.
It's kind of crazy how you look at who's been winning these speed passes. It's the people that we expect in the end, right? Like the only exception, I mean, we know Hunter Jarrett's fantastic. He'd be the only real surprise one, I guess, if you want to call it that. We've had Daniel Gill, Drew Dreshel, and Sean Bryan. Like, these are the guys that you expect to bring it home, and they are coming good for it.
Yeah, I mean, it was great stuff. Who was Hunter Jarrett against? Do you remember?
David Campbell.
Yeah, David Campbell's my favorite ninja of all time. I would pick Hunter Jarrett in that one.
Yeah, And even that was it was a pretty close one.
It was very close. I remember that.
Yeah. So you might want to ready your bell here. Do you know who they skipped this episode completely?
Oh, no. Now I'm scared. Who?
Charlie Andrews.
Shame, 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 shame. What? Really?
Yeah, the return of Charlie Andrews skipped.
That is a huge story, like one of the biggest. Dude, they have to be preparing that for like a city finals, because that, in my opinion, is one of the biggest stories you can have.
He didn't make it to finals, unfortunately.
What? Ow, my hand hurts. Oh my God, shame. What? How?
Yeah, he made
Why?
He
I
made
need
it to
an
lightning
explanation.
He went to.
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just so angry.
He made it to lightning bolts, but he wasn't fast enough, unfortunately. So, yeah.
I'm so upset right now. Why? Why don't you explain to everybody why this is such a big deal?
Yeah,
for why, like I.
Well, that's the thing.
Blunt.
So
go ahead.
So the thing was, Charlie Andrews is one of the best ninjas out there, right? We've seen him crush it on Team Ninja Warrior, College Madness, and then was doing extremely well in ANW, but took a nasty spill when filming a segment for ANW. He fell while they were there at the gym, just trying to get some extra like B-roll type footage or whatever.
Nasty spill. Dude almost died, man.
I know. Yeah. I don't remember the exact injury, but he took a nasty whack to the head.
He was doing these like rolling log type things, and he just basically slipped on one and went full on to the back of his head on one of those rolling pegs, and it was nasty, like really really bad injury. I believe to the back of his skull, which could kill someone.
Yeah, so he was out of Ninja, completely out last season, wasn't able to compete. So he's back, and it's fantastic that he's back. And we didn't even get to see him. I don't get why you wouldn't at least show him. I would have taken a fast forward. I probably wouldn't have been upset, to be fair. But you don't even give him that?
No, this deserves a full segment. This deserves everything. I want an update. I want a story of his return. Whatever he's comfortable with sharing to the world, obviously. But if there's a complete story of redemption, this is it. And yeah, I understand maybe because he didn't move on to the Vegas finals that they don't want to show that. But it's not like he fell in the first obstacle. As you said, he made it to the lightning bolts like everybody else. This should have been shown. And yeah, that sucks, man. At the very least, he was able to compete for his own personal journey. I'm glad that he was actually able to get on the course, run and do his thing. But wow, that is crazy.
Yep. Two other ones that got skipped, not as upsetting, but still, a little surprising. Nate Burkhalter. He did make the top 30. He made it to the lightning bolts. And Sean Darling Hammond also made the lightning bolts in the top 30.
My palm is literally bleeding. I was slamming this bell. Yeah, that sucks, but no more shame bells.
Yeah, take her easy next time. But yeah, so there's our nominees. I mean, Charlie Andrews probably a shoo-in for the Stealthiest Ninja Award at this point.
There's a shame moment of the season or whatever. Yeah, that's getting it, man. That, oof.
But yeah, so that was our first ever indoor competition and the biggest crowd they've ever had for one of these.
Okay, so I want to talk about this for a bit. First of all, what's your opinion on the stadium, the indoor set, all that?
Fantastic. Do it at all of them.
Yes, 120% agree. I love this dynamic. It's an enclosed environment, but a bigger set, bigger building. I thought the lighting was great. The sound was better. The visual element was fantastic. I like the fact that, really they can fill a stadium with like a lot of more fans and everything. But what I want to hear is if anybody was at the recordings, I really, really particularly want to hear feedback this week on what they did with all the extra fans and the families. Because to give a little background, for every single region that they film in, there's the audience, right? But there's more audience in time frames of where they kind of like, for people that are leaving from, because the filming of sets is like multiple hours, probably like 10 hours. So people leave and then they bring more people in. So there's a whole crowd of people just waiting outside to join in and watch from the stands. But then there is a huge, and I mean a huge plethora of like just gathering of families and all of the people like on the sidelines that you see in front of the camera rooting for their family members on that. They have to wait outside, and they have to wait outside for hours upon hours, just basically sitting around doing nothing. This is where we hear the stories of like my mom, talking to Nick Hansen's mom, saying that I'm his favorite ninja, or he's my favorite ninja, or whatever, because they were hanging out right next to them, and Josh Levin's family, and so on and so forth, because everybody's just hanging out doing nothing for hours. They aren't actually there watching the runs, which is crazy to me. So I really hope, at least in this environment, we saw in the back camera, they have just like a short field of fans, and then behind them is just a whole swath of just empty seats. I'm hoping on the other side of the camera, they were allowed to put all the extra families and everybody that usually has to hang out outside doing nothing. I really hope they were able to sit there and enjoy their time cheering these ninjas on. Because that makes such a huge difference in terms of people wanting to come back, enjoying themselves, genuinely good vibes, everything like that. And if not, hey, if they just want to fill up the hard camera side, which is like the camera, like the side that we see, fill up those back stands with all those families. It's very simple, where you can have them relegated to each, like kind of section of like, all right, these next few families, you're coming up, so we're going to pull you off to the side and then cue you up to be on the camera angle. Kind of like how they do regularly, where everybody's like in a line and kind of are just like shipped forward without, being able to see anything. So I just hope this gives a huge opportunity for more and more people to enjoy the tapings while not being stuck outside, being bored out of their minds, doing nothing. I hope that makes sense.
It does. I'd love it to be kind of a precursor to them moving to a full-on live sporting events like we have with, National Ninja League and other ones. Like,
good idea.
I mean, really, this is kind of proof of concept in a way for those types of events. Can you get the live commentary in? Can we get... The thing with watching it in these situations is you don't know who's running. Unless it's a big name, you're kind of confused on what's going on. You don't know what this person's deal is. The commentary from Matt and Akbar really adds a lot to the show and these segments and stuff, so you know what's actually happening.
Yeah, but with this, I mean, they had giant screens in the arena, and you can see them showing the competitor running and things like that. At the very least, like for people watching, even though they don't know, like they're not hearing the commentary, they're at least going to be able to see like, hey, Lance Pekus is up, because you see his name, and then you could see him on the screen running, or you can see him live running in front of you also. I mean, just the approach in terms of like production value and everything, I think these sets are a lot better. Not to mention, I mean, once again, LA, which is usually got perfect weather, almost rained out this season. And we've seen in former seasons different regions being rained out. You cut out all those mystery question mark dynamics of the weather.
Yeah. Yep. And it's funny that I would have sworn that this would be the episode we'd have a ton of Mega Wall finishes, because no weather concerns and lots of All-Star Ninjas, but we got one. And almost none.
Surprising, man. And you know what? It wasn't like a lower body intensive course either.
No, there really was no real logical reason to it. Just didn't work out that way. But that is it for this week. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Yeah, hit me up at Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151. I'm going to go ice my palm now.
All right, thank you all for listening, and have a terrific week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all.